Good evening. Welcome to another live edition of Sports Live with me, your host, Zach Hulley, and my co-host,
Tyler Meyer.
Back again. Didn't know if he'd be back.
It definitely would be back. It is a wonderful Monday.
Wonderful Monday. I wouldn't say it was a wonderful Monday. Well, yeah, it was, but
Okay.
I don't know if you can consider it a wonderful Monday.
Well, we basically, I don't know about you, but
I've been sitting around doing nothing.
I basically didn't have class at all today.
I didn't have class at all today either.
Okay.
So it was a beautiful Monday, I guess.
Wow. Today's an interesting.
So what are we doing today?
Well, we got kind of a full tap
It's a
today.
full tap today, because guess what, folks? It's one show.
One show.
So we're putting two shows in one tonight.
Well, from 8
Makes it sound better, though, too. We got more content, and then we don't have to stop.
From 8 to 8:30, we are going to go major sports headlines. From 8:30 to 9, we are going to preview NCAA college basketball and Minnesota Gophers basketball. From 9 to 9:30, we're going to review Week 10 of the NCAA and preview Week 11 NCAA with picks. And then from 9:30 to about 9:55ish, we are going to review Week 9 NFL and preview Week 10 of the NFL with picks. Once again, if you want to call in, our number is 507-537-6350.
What are you shrugging at?
Something sounds really weird.
Nothing sounds weird.
You don't think I sound weird?
Well,
coming back?
you're weird anyways, but you don't sound any different.
Oh,
You sound like your weird self.
Sounds really strange.
I don't know, mate. I don't know. You're higher than you. I don't know.
Is there maybe like normally an echo? Like
Do you hear an echo?
I hear an echo.
I don't hear an
It's
echo.
like echoing back in my ear.
Better?
Maybe. That sounds a little better.
Okay, maybe it was because that was on. I don't know. Who knows? So, we're going to get going with our headlines. We're going to open up, of course, with the news today, and everybody kind of shrugging their shoulders with the news today. Your Minnesota Twins winning the bid for first baseman Wong Ho Park at $12.85 million. That's just for the bid, and then they got to figure out a contract in the next 30 days. With that, I add in, since that happened, I did all these things. Add in that, the Twins are now pushing Sano to start playing outfield during the winter ball. Very, very good. Number one, it's good news because the Twins are out spending money. Wow. So far.
Well, I don't know if you can classify that as spending money for quality yet. Yeah, he's hitting 105 home runs and
You're playing Korean ball. You're going to hit 50 home runs and have 140 RBIs. That's just Korean ball. I wish I could go play Korean ball.
I know. But it's going to be interesting to see what he can actually do at the major league level.
Same team as what Kong from Pittsburgh was on, so
True.
and look what he turned out to be, the second best player on that team.
Yeah, that is actually a good point. You sit there and
So now you look at scenarios for this offseason. You keep everybody, so you have Plouffe at third still, Sano out in right field, then you have Mauer and Park. Kind of, if they sign Park, they got 30 days, so that's it. He's not on the team yet. But if they do get him, then you got a plateau between Park and Mauer at first and DH.
Or
you trade Plouffe, which is not a dumb idea because the guy's going to be making a lot of money in the next couple of years. Trade Plouffe, get something big for him, put Sano at third, and you're good to go.
Or do you eat part of Mauer's contract?
Can't
and trade
do it.
Mauer?
You can't trade Mauer. He's on a no-trade clause. Full no-trade clause.
trade
He's got a full no-trade clause.
I keep forgetting about that.
Come on, man. He only signed this deal 6 years ago.
Yeah, but
Actually, it's 5 years ago.
I wish we could get out of it somehow.
He's a Minnesota native. He can't just get out of it.
He's not that good no more.
In his numbers, they're good as a catcher.
True.
As a first baseman, no, they're pathetic.
Exactly.
But, they didn't make the stadium in Mauer's favor. So, you were supposed to make the stadium in Mauer's favor. He's your best player, you put him in his favor, and you didn't do that. So now with this little bid win, and if they do sign Park, I always say Kong, it's Park. does that pretty much close the door on any chance Justin Morneau has a reunion? Because there was talks that maybe because they thought maybe when he showed up, there's whole. Because he says he's worth doing anything. He doesn't matter what, but does that pretty much close the door?
I think so. Absolutely.
Do I take a hurt Morneau, or do I take a Korean guy I've never seen? I'd rather have a Korean guy that I've never seen. But no, he's good. Instead of a Morneau that you never know if he's going to play 10 games, 20 games, or play 100 games.
That's true.
Ugh. I love Morneau.
Yeah.
Love Morneau, but he's just not, no. Can he hit home runs still? You just don't know.
Yeah, I think, what did he have, like 16 last year?
No, he had like 4.
That's it?
Yeah, he played 30 games. He had so many injuries, like Kadire. Kadire had so many injuries.
Yeah.
I think that's all he has. So, I don't know. I don't know what the Twins are going to. I mean, now if they do this, you look at they're going to get a catcher. So maybe Przinsky comes back. Going to go get relief pitching, of course. Maybe go get a starter. Who knows? Maybe they'll shock the world and they'll sign David Price.
He only had 3 home runs.
Okay, 3, even less than what I said. What would you do if we were sitting here on this show in January and all of a sudden we have breaking news saying David Price signs with the Twins? Shock of all shockers, but you know it's not going to happen. Won't happen. Will never happen.
You can't say that.
It won't happen. I could say that.
They said that the Twins have free range.
But what would happen? What would you do? Would I be kicking you off the show because you'll be ringing out F-bombs?
No, I wouldn't. It would be determining if I'd just be kicked out of college is the question.
Ooh, that's scary.
I don't even know if I can legally say this over air.
Don't say it then.
I'm not going to, but I will.
Can you rephrase to make it so you can say it on here? Like you're gonna raise hell? Is that what you're saying?
No.
Oh, you're gonna streak.
Streak.
You're
there
gonna
you
streak.
Go.
You can say streak.
Streak all the way across the school.
Okay,
through every hall.
Okay, so if you do that, not only are you gonna be kicked out of college, you're off the show. I'm kicking you off the show because I cannot have a co-host that streaks down hallways. Number 2, Matt's gonna kick you out. Joss will kick you out of the program. Oh, good Lord! Someone's messaging me on Facebook. Oh. Somehow one of my buddies is. But
anything worth it?
I don't know. Who knows what he's saying? Oh. He wants me to talk about my loss to him in fantasy.
Oh.
Yeah, don't worry, I will. It was a disaster. But no. I don't want to see you streaking down no hallway. So David Price, don't come to Minnesota, please. Thank you. All right. Our next story. Very interesting story when I read this. And this is reported. This isn't, LeBron James, this for Minnesota fans makes everybody happy. LeBron James was reportedly unhappy with Kevin Love's fitness before last season. It said, let's see if I can find it here. All right, here it says that in truth, James was frustrated in part because Love showed up out of shape. He didn't work out much at all in the summer. He was traded here, and he wasn't the player James was expecting. His legs bothered him all season. His back was hurting. All the parts were connected, and none of them were firing properly.
Does
that shock you?
No, it doesn't, because, Kevin Love was the best player on the T-Wolves team.
No, poopy. Yeah, I'm trying to keep myself from saying what I like to say, but yeah, no.
I feel Kevin Love kind of went into Cleveland like that, knowing he was going to have LeBron.
He figured he'd go in lazy. That's pretty much.
Exactly.
It was like,
he wasn't going to even have to do anything because they'd pick up his slack.
Yeah, pick up the slack of the lack of defense he has.
True.
I mean, that hair looks good, though. I never saw that hair look that good.
I never.
Little curly hair.
Yeah.
You could tell there was something wrong last year, though. It was at the start of the season, he just didn't look like himself.
I bet you all the chicks are digging his new curly hair.
I don't know if he's dating. I don't want to know.
He's probably.
I don't know.
With Caitlyn Jenner.
Oh, God, don't even bring. Okay, we're gonna put this stamp right now. We will not talk about any Kardashians on this show. I will not hear anything about a Kardashian or a Jenner.
Okay. Oh, I was
neither one. They're both the same. You don't get either. Sorry, I do not want to talk about that. This is a sports show, not a celebrity desperate housewife
What if
show.
we're talking about Lamar Odom and
We're not talking about Lamar Odom anymore. I don't want to talk about Lamar Odom on this show anymore either. I don't like Lamar Odom. Never did. He's a classy guy. Never liked him, though. He's a drug addict. But we're going to move on. So, any final thoughts about this story?
I agree. LeBron has every right.
Well, he's the stud. He's the one that brought him in. You show up not fit, I'm going to yell at you, too.
Exactly.
You're not fit. What are you not being fit? You still got to play basketball.
You wanted a championship? You got to do what it takes to get that championship, boy.
Yeah, well.
You wanted out of Minnesota so badly because, AKA, we suck.
Well, we do.
Duh. I said in past tense.
No. Yeah,
Yes.
you and your playoff thinking, yeah, if they played on the road the rest of the year.
You know what? I don't even want to hear about playing on the road because
they're 3-0. They
Yeah.
haven't lost on the road. They can't win at home.
You want to see what we can do?
Yeah.
And we are beating the Atlanta Hawks by 30 at halftime.
Everybody, Atlanta. No
Dude.
good.
7-1. Does that not ring a bell?
Yeah, they're playing the Eastern Conference.
Well, you play the Western Conference and see what happens.
Yeah, the Western Conference is the best conference. You got to win 50 games to make the playoffs. Timberwolves won't do that.
Andrew Wiggins has already got 16 points.
He had 30 the other night at
Yeah.
halftime.
And then
Okay, we're going to end talking about
Oh,
Timberwolves
my goodness.
basketball. You and your thinking they're going to make the playoffs just makes me
They are.
sick.
They are.
Matt's already put that all over his show. It just makes him sick, too. I mean, we like the Timberwolves, but they're not a playoff team.
We'll see what happens.
Now, if I can get this story to my computer is acting up on me. That is my. Oh, they are. Holy molies. 72 points in the first half? Good
Yeah.
heavens. What does Kevin Garnett have, 40?
No, he's got 2.
Come on, KG. We need you double figures. All right. So this next story. What happened here? Oh, that's why it didn't go up. I found this, and it's kind of... Oh, actually, I'm on the wrong story. I'm looking at in my order. So, we all know Augustana. Same conferences we are in. They are the number 1 team in basketball for Division II. They went and played an exhibition game against Iowa in Iowa. Yes, the Division I Hawkeyes.
Hawkeyes.
They stunned Iowa with a buzzer beater win, 76-74. Daniel Jansen for Augustana hit a jumper as time expired in front of 12,874 fans Friday night on the road in Iowa.
Yep. That was.
How embarrassing does that get for Iowa?
I don't know.
No, I mean a Division I team losing to now. Granted, the Timberwolves or not the Timberwolves, the Gophers have got beat by Division II teams before.
It's exhibition.
Yes, so it doesn't
Who
count on
cares?
anything. Would that scare you as a head coach though? You know,
No.
we just got beat by a Division II team.
No, it'd be different if they totally outplayed them.
They were up 15.
They were, yeah, but they
They
came
were up
back.
15 in the second half.
Yeah, they came back, battled, but it would be different if the final score was like 15, 20 points. But
No.
losing a buzzer beater, that's a shock that happens only every once in a while.
No,
You don't-
only once in a while.
You don't see many buzzer beaters finishing the games. Otherwise, it wouldn't be like, oh my goodness, a buzzer beater 3. You know, it's one of those things where it's like, oh, cool, they knocked them off with the buzzer beater. It's not anything to really worry about right now, unless it was for the, national championship. But, that's not going to happen.
You made absolutely no sense.
You made no sense.
You're telling me that game-winning shots don't happen much.
I've
seen.
never,
You know how many?
I said,
you know how many I've seen in my career as a manager. Best. I've seen a lot, including a game-winning alley-oop to go to state.
well, I've seen that happen too.
No, you haven't seen that because it never happened before.
I've seen a lot of buzzer beaters, but it's not that.
Not as good as the one that I saw on. What was it? Well, no, it was on KSTP. Actually, they showed it was I think it was a Japanese, and this kid with like 2 seconds left. All the other kids were going nuts. They thought they won the game. The guy threw a bullet, hit the backboard, winning the win. It's pretty nice.
That's nuts.
Yeah. So, on to our next one. This is a little disturbing, so if anybody listening, children in the room, might want to take them out. A little disturbing, but it was kind of interesting.
Oh my gosh, not for my ears. Don't do this
Yeah,
to
not
me.
for you. You got to leave. Sorry. Bye.
Don't do this to me.
A Colorado high school football team. They had to forfeit their playoff game because of due to a sexting scandal.
Over 100 students.
Yeah, it was bad. It wasn't pretty. It says, this is a quote, I think. I don't know who. Oh, the superintendent released a statement. He said, because of a large number of our high school football players were implicated in this behavior of the coaching staff and administration, after careful thought and consideration, decided that stepping onto the field to play this weekend to represent the Canyon City community is just not an option. We realize this decision will unfairly penalize many of our fine young men who clearly did not participate in these actions. However, we concluded it was impossible to safely field an entire team representative of the personal qualities and characteristics that truly represent the history of the Canyon City High School football program. And I was watching it on ABC News, and this girl that they interviewed said, "Oh, we all make mistakes. We all do it." Well, yeah, everybody does it. Seems like it. And you're smiling over there because you do it too. That's your lifestyle. I don't judge you by your lifestyle. Any remarks on this story?
It's interesting. I still think you play the game.
No, why? You suspended all these guys. They're sexting. They're under 18. You can't do it. It's not legal.
Everyone makes mistakes.
Yeah, but still, you get suspended. You can't play the game.
As long as the people they were sexting wasn't over 18, it shouldn't.
No, it's all illegal. It's underage. It don't matter. Unless they're 18. But it still don't matter. You don't field a team that has a bunch of guys that, get suspended for doing something bad. I hope you're not a superintendent of a school district. Because I'll put you in the news all day long. Superintendent Tyler Meyer allows team to play after whole school did sexting conflict. Does that sound good to you?
No, not
Yeah,
really.
it doesn't. It's not good. That's why you don't play. Because for the community, it's like, oh my God, they're still playing.
True.
It's not good. It's not good. All right, enough with talking about a sexting scandal, because I'm tired of it already. NFL trade deadline. It seems like every year it's quiet. It was quiet. People think it was quiet this year due to the high asking price. Do you agree?
Yes.
Well, what I saw from Cleveland, I triple agree with it.
There's people sit there and overvalue players.
No, but let's put it this way here. And I mean, I like where you're going with the overvalue. But look at the difference between Major League Baseball's trade deadline to NFL trade deadline. Yeah, I mean, I understand bigger season, da-da-da-da. But if you look at it, it's like, why is the MLB so active? You know, there's a lot of people that are, overvaluing. Yeah, but I think the key thing with that is that they can't trade away draft picks.
True.
And I think that's the killer. What kills NFL is you can trade draft picks.
And I think the
Now, now do you believe for the trade deadline you cannot, the only way you could trade draft picks is during the draft? There should be a rule. To me, think that then you maybe see a spike in trade deadline trades. I would think.
I don't know about that. I feel because if there's just say the Vikings, okay?
Yeah, they need to trade a lot,
No,
including the quarterback.
no, just shut your mouth.
I get you going, man.
But
I love it.
If they just say the Vikings, for one, what they need to do is they need to prolong the trade deadline. They need to make it later in the season.
We're already over halfway past the season.
I understand.
That's
that.
what it is in every other sport.
I understand that, but there's less games in the NFL than there is any other sport. But I feel you push the trade deadline back. Just say week 13, the cutoff.
Right before the playoffs?
Right before the playoffs.
Why?
Because just say the Saints are like 2-14 or whatever the record would be.
Yeah, who are they going to trade?
I'm just saying. Just let me speak. And the Vikings are, just say they're 8? They're 6-2 right now. Just say they'd be 8-2. And Teddy,
8-2. How could you be 8-2?
just quiet.
Good Lord. Do your
And
math.
I'm just saying.
Okay, go.
And if Teddy Bridgewater goes down with an ACL injury,
No, we
I
hope to
say,
God.
I say you have to be allowed to be able to use picks to go get Drew Brees.
You know what it would take to get Drew Brees?
I don't know because he is like what 36.
It'd take like 4 first-round picks to get him.
I don't know if it'd take that much.
He's valuable. He'd be really valuable in Minnesota, though. Hint, hint, go get him. Just Teddy Bridgewater hasn't shown anything. Poor passing. It's been bad. I can't stomach it anymore. I don't know. It's just weird.
He's managing the games. That's all he has to do.
Yeah, when you just hand it off to the best running back. It's not
Oh
hard.
wait, but he's not the best back. I forgot you said that.
I said in 5 years he won't be.
He's not.
I didn't say now. I said 5 years. But I don't know. Trade deadline is. I don't know. It's interesting. I just don't know. How can we make it to see more action? Like Major League Baseball, you get the full day of all these. Oh yeah, all these reporting and all that. How can you get something like that in the NFL though? That's the question.
Push out the trade deadline.
You just got to keep it the same, but I don't know. I think, yeah, as you said, overvaluing players.
That too.
Yes, Cleveland, they're asking way too much for Joe Thomas.
Yeah.
Holy moly's. What was it, like a first-round pick?
First round, a second,
and like
and
a fifth
or something like
Oh,
that.
good Lord. I wouldn't give that even if it was freaking Josh Gordon in his prime before he did all his stuff.
I wouldn't even do that for. Oh no, I take that back.
I'd do it for Tom Brady.
I was gonna say Randy Moss.
If we had a chance to get Tom Brady for that, I'd do that and just tell Teddy Bridgewater to sit on a bench. No joke. I would, but I know he's never leaving New England, so I can hope and pray, but it'll never happen. So, our next story is same with football. There's a report saying the New Orleans Saints is open to letting Sean Payton out of his contract at the end of the year if he wants to leave. Do you think Sean Payton will leave at the end of the year? Or do you think he's loyal? He's been loyal to this fan base for how long? You think he's just going to keep it?
One song for you. Gone like yesterday. Gone.
Okay. You didn't need to sing.
Sean Payton's bye-bye.
Where do you think he's going?
College somewhere.
You think he's going to the college game
I think he's gonna go to college game.
before Chip Kelly goes back?
No, Chip Kelly ain't going any. He's gonna leave the Philly.
He's going to go to
He's gonna go to Tennessee.
No, he's going to USC.
No, Chip Kelly.
USC.
No, stop.
USC.
Stop.
USC.
I see you, but I don't want to USC you. But listen.
I can't hear you.
I wonder why. Listen to me speak right now. I don't mute you,
Well, you can't mute me. I can mute you.
but
I'm the host. I'm supposed to talk.
you know how badly come draft time, Chip Kelly wanted Marcus Mariota.
Yeah, it's because he had him for so long.
Yeah,
I would
he
badly have my guys.
He knows how to use him.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and so does Tennessee right now.
Well, but Chip Kelly would be ideal to go to Tennessee.
He's not going to Tennessee because they're going to find a better coach.
You want to put money on it?
I'll put lots of money on it.
I'll put $20 on it.
Put my whole bank account on it.
I'll put $20
The whole
on
bank account on it.
I don't have as much money as you have.
I
in your
didn't think
bank.
so.
But we'll put $20 on it that he goes to.
I'm telling you,
Tennessee.
I think it's either he stays in Philly or he goes to not New Orleans, or he goes to USC.
No way.
Yes. Now, as for Sean Payton, I think Miami. He was going to go there in the first place, didn't go because they didn't want Drew Brees. And now I think he'll go to Miami because he could fix Tannehill pretty dang quickly.
That's interesting.
Or he'll go to Philly, and I doubted he'd want to go there after what Chip Kelly's done. Destroy that mess. All right, moving on here because we got 2 more stories here. This is a funny one. I thought it was really funny, and the last 2 are pretty funny. Reggie Bush. Oh, good old Reggie Bush in the news. He is reportedly suing the city of St. Louis after his season-ending ACL injury because of the cement. You're yawning about it, aren't you?
Good for him.
Well, he's got every right
But
to.
what I don't understand is what idiots put cement right next to a football field.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. I've never seen that, but he's got a right to. I mean, I understand his logic on it,
Yeah.
but
He's been as fragile as
he's been fragile ever.
glass.
He's been fragile ever since the NCAA came hammered down on him that he was ineligible. Ha ha ha. But I thought it's funny, so I knew I had to put it in there. And then our last one here, and this is funny, and I don't know if you heard the press conference or not. Brett Bielema, the old Wisconsin head coach, now in Arkansas after they beat Ole Miss. And probably will take a couple times for you to hear this because I know you kind of can't hear. But
Oh, I can hear you loud and clear today.
okay, good. So this is what he said in his news conference. It's pretty funny. Let's see if you can catch it. It's right away at the beginning.
We'll do that a little bit. I'm just looking forward to hopping on the hopping on the plane. Hopping on the plane with my wife. Can't believe I just said that. I look.
All right, we're going to play it back again and see if you heard that.
We'll do that a little bit. I'm just looking forward to hopping on hopping on the plane. Hopping on the plane with my wife. Can't believe I just said that.
I actually heard that on Saturday.
That was funny.
It was hilarious.
Hopping on my wife? No, hopping on the plane with my wife. Oh, Brett Bielema, miss you, in Wisconsin. Oh, my. He was that excited after the game. I wouldn't be surprised to see him hopping on his wife. You win a game like that, I'm not shocked, especially the way they won it.
Yeah, that was almost as funny as Torrey Hunter's press conference.
Well, him talking about nude beaches is different, man. Him and his wife. Whoo! I don't want to be on that nude beach when that happens. No way, Jose. But no, I don't know if you saw the ending of how that game went down. But they were in overtime with Ole Miss, and it was 4th and 22.
The lateral?
And they did the old YOLO pass, and the guy threw it back 15 yards and ended up getting it to a guy, and he ran for the first down, and then their quarterback ended up taking a shot and scored on a touchdown. Or no, actually, they scored the touchdown, then they went for 2 instead of kicking them to go on, and they ended up winning it. But it's funny to see the Ole Miss sidelines. They were going crazy after the guy caught it, and then he chucks it back. They called it a YOLO pass now. YOLO. I don't understand the whole concept of YOLO pass.
Because you only live once. They only had one chance to live, and that was it.
I don't think I've ever seen now. You look at the Miami one; they threw it 5-10 yards. This guy threw it 20 yards, and he didn't look. He just went boom and just chucked it back and just said, "Hope to God one of my guys are back there to catch it." And the fast guy ended up catching it and running all the way for the first down.
That's true.
That was ridiculous. And we'll talk a little bit about that a little later. But anything else you want to add? That's kind of all the stories I ended up finding this week. I don't know if I saw anything else. Oh, Wes Welker going to St. Louis.
Yeah.
That was tonight.
Yeah.
They like their little concussion guys, I guess.
Stedman Bailey.
Who's Stedman Bailey?
He got suspended 4 games. That's what triggered them to
Oh, he did?
sign Wes Welker for PEDs.
Oh, that came out?
Yep.
Oh, and then another suspension today was Aqib Talib. 1-game suspension for his stupid, dumb, eye-poking mistake. He wasn't even part of the whole fight either, and he just came in and said, "Hey, Dwayne Allen, pop!"
Right in the eyeball.
Right in the eyeball, and it cost him the game.
He says
It cost him the game.
Oh, yeah.
That cost him the game. Peyton Manning got me few, man. I didn't even get the ball back. I got the best defense. I didn't get the ball back. Come on, I didn't get the ball back. Yeah, you didn't get the ball back because your best defense. Blah. You can stop Aaron Rodgers, but you can't stop Andrew Luck. Good God.
Andrew Luck is healthy, though, now.
That's what they say. I don't know. I benched T.Y. Hilton because first they said he wasn't going to play. Well, I didn't like the matchup, and then they said he wasn't going to play, and then all of a sudden he played.
He didn't do much, though.
8 points. 8 more than I had. Compared to the one guy who... How many does Floyd have tonight? 1, 2, none.
That's it.
Cutler's already thrown a pick tonight, too.
Go figure.
Unbelievable.
Jay Cutler.
Well, you know what that happens? I am never playing it. Well, I'm dead out of wide receivers, though. I got nothing.
Didn't you pick up Malcolm Floyd?
Yeah, that's who I'm playing.
And Stevie
No, I didn't get
Johnson?
Stevie Johnson. I should have picked Stevie up instead. Oh, no, Stevie, I think, was taken already. But
What's the score of that game?
I don't know. I don't care. It's over with. But we're going to hit break quick. Well, not quick. Long break. We'll be back. Talk NCAA basketball and Gopher basketball. This is Sports Live on Mustang Radio. On your feet, Mustang fans. There are several men's and women's sports teams here on the campus of Southwest Minnesota State University. The Mustang Maniacs is a student spirit group and a booster club to lend support to the Mustang athletics at SMSU. Our mission is to create the most exciting and intimidating atmosphere at a home on the campus of SMSU. We strive to make SMSU the toughest place to play in the Northern Sun Intercollegiate Conference and one of the toughest arenas in the NCAA Division II. So if you like to dress up for games to support the sport teams at SMSU, make sure you check out the Mustang Maniacs. Find the Mustang Maniacs group on Facebook or follow them on Twitter, Mustang Maniacs 1. Go Mustangs! If you're looking to get in shape or even for a place to just stay active, then the fitness center is the place for you. Our SMSU Fitness Center is free to all enrolled SMSU students, and for a small fee, faculty can utilize the facility too. Make sure to bring your student ID in with you to show the worker at the front desk. The fitness center is open every day of the week. You heard me, every day. Their hours start at 6:30 a.m. Monday through Friday for all you morning birds, early birds, morning birds, and close at 10 p.m. Monday through Thursday for the night owls. Weekend hours include 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. on Saturday and 12 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Sunday, with a variety of workout equipment from treadmills to ellipticals to dumbbells and strength machines. You can easily find something that's just your speed. The fitness center is even equipped with 3 large TVs so you don't have to skip out on your favorite shows. So what are you waiting for? Head over to RA 124 and get your workout on today. And now I send it over to meteorologist Tyler Meyer with our weather. Tyler, take it away.
Well, it is 51 degrees right now in Marshall, Minnesota.
Oh, the weather outside
That
is beautiful.
beautiful for November 9th.
It is November 9th today.
And it is supposed to get down to 43. Tomorrow, Tuesday, 62 degrees for the high, 39 for the low. Wednesday, 44 for the high, 32 for the low.
Oh, I forgot to turn my mic off. Sorry if you heard that. I forgot to turn the mic off here.
Thursday, 47, 29 for the
I'm
low.
good now.
Friday, 40.
Friday the 13th. It is Friday the 13th, though.
It is. 48.
Jason's coming home. He's coming home. Okay. I just had to get that in.
48.
Great movie.
Saturday, 61. Low of 38. Sunday, 60. Low of 39. And just for Monday outlook, 54.
Sounds good.
It sounds fantastic. I take that
Got
back.
something else before we move on?
Next week on Sunday, Saturday, or all next weekend, it looks like rain and snow showers.
Yuck. You, I didn't want to hear that. I'm shutting you off. Yes, it is that time of the year. NCAA basketball and the road to March Madness is starting already. Can't believe it's already starting.
I can't wait.
Can't wait. Well, here to preview the here's the preseason top 25 heading into this year. A little different than last year, and you'll probably notice that Tyler, if you know or how the top 25 pretty much ended last year.
Yeah.
Yeah, you should know. It's changed. It changed quite a bit, actually, if I remember right. As I just look at something quick here. All right, now we're good. Starting with number 25 will be Michigan to start the year. 24, Butler. Seems like Butler since, 2010, they've been in it every year or in the top 25.
Yeah.
Purdue, my mom's favorite team, Purdue, or one of her favorite teams, including Minnesota, is they're at 23. Baylor at 22. LSU at 21. UConn at 20. Notre Dame at 19. Vanderbilt at 18. Wisconsin at 17. Utah at 16. Indiana at 15. California is at 14. Michigan State, a little lower than I think they are, but they didn't rebuild as much. 13. Arizona at 12. Villanova at 11. Wichita State at 10. They were in the top 4 all last year, and but they lost a couple key guys. Gonzaga at 9. Oklahoma at 8. Iowa State at 7. Virginia at 6. Duke at 5. Kansas at 4. Maryland out of the Big Ten at number 3. Kentucky at number 2. And your number 1 team to start out the season is...
Ohio State?
No, not at all. They're only a football school now. They're not basketball anymore. No, it's North Carolina, as they have the best player on the team. So
Who, Michael Jordan?
no, not anymore. I can't think of. I think he got hurt. I can't think of what his name is now. But any surprises for you not being on the top 25? Realistic surprises, please. I mean, the Big Ten, as everybody knows, Big Ten is the powerhouse of basketball. Well, them and the ACC.
Maybe Indiana.
Indiana, I mean, yeah, they had their tough year, but I believe what's-his-name's a senior this year, isn't he?
Yeah.
For Indiana, can never think of his name. I'll have to look up quick. I believe it was, I can never think he was a freshman like 3 years ago, I thought. Yeah, no, that's old. My bad.
Is it, Farrell?
Yeah. Farrell, I think he's still there. If I remember right, he's still there. And he's good.
Yogi
Farrell, there you go. Yogi
He
Farrell.
is a senior this year.
That's what I thought he was. Yeah, he's a good team. And I mean, they rebuilt. They rebuilt since, last year in their troubling year. But I don't know. I mean, you expect North Carolina, Kentucky, the powerhouse they were last year. Maryland's not a shock to me. I think they're going to win the Big Ten this year. I really do think they're going to win the Big Ten this year. I mean, you look at the Big Ten, and to me, it's kind of, Wisconsin won it last year. They're not going to win it this. I mean, they could have a chance. They're still good this year, not as good. I mean, you lose Frank Kaminsky, and you lose, what's the other guy's name now? I can't even think of the other guy. Kaminsky and, he just blanked out of my head now.
I can tell you real quick.
The other freaky guy.
Yeah.
I can't think of his name, but losing those two hurts them. But, I mean, they're going to be up there. Michigan State, always good, seems to find a way. Iowa, they were up there. I just don't know. I mean, I think they're...
Sam Decker.
There you go, Decker. But Iowa, I think, is going to take a hit this year. Purdue's going to be okay. Ohio State, they're always around there because they got what's-his-name as a head coach, so he's always up there. Indiana, they had, as I said, tough year. They were 99 in the conference, 20-14 overall. But I think they're going to come back. But I just don't know. I like the top 25 way it is right now. I mean, I believe teams that were out of it was like Northern Iowa, but they were just one of those one-hit wonders last year. They had all their talent that they had, but I don't know. I mean, you're looking at this top 25. Who do you believe right now? I mean, granted, we haven't started at all and haven't really seen much, but who do you think realistically, we could just pick the top 4 teams and say they're going to be the top 4 teams in the Final Four. But who do you think, in your opinion, is going to be in that Final Four come March, or actually April, technically?
Kentucky.
Kentucky's not. That's not a bad job, but I don't know how those young kids are going to do. They don't have the same guys. They lose all their guys. I don't know.
Kentucky, Michigan State, Kansas.
And a fourth.
I'm just gonna no, I can't do that.
What were you going to do?
I was gonna go out on a limb and say Davidson, but I can't do
Oh,
that.
no. They're going to probably make the play or make the tournament, but no, not that far. They don't have Steph Curry. You got to have Steph Curry to do that.
I'm trying to.
I like your four. I think
Arizona.
Arizona. I like those four. That's not a bad four. My one concern I do have is the Michigan State doesn't concern me at all because they somehow always find a way to make it all. I just don't know how, but they always find that way to make it there. I mean, I like North. I think you look at that ACC, and this year. I'm going to say this year right now, the ACC is better than the Big Ten. Because
Yes.
you look at North Carolina, you got North Carolina, Duke, Virginia. You got three top 10 teams and then the rest of it's junk. But the Big Ten's good, and they're really good because they're always the powerhouse. But I think the ACC may have the upper hand this year, but not by much. But the Big Ten, it's going to be interesting because, you get all these teams that fire out, and then you get to see who can wither out. And those are the two conferences I always look at because it tends to be the two conferences the most teams come out of. Pac-12, no one really big comes out if they do. Big 12, you got your Kansas, your Oklahoma, and blah, 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 same teams over and over. However, you look at the Big Ten, and they have how many teams here? 1, 2, 3, 4. Is it 4 or 5? 5. Yeah, 5. There's 5 teams in the Big Ten in the top 25. Usually, that's one thing I like about Big Ten Conference is it's like a doghouse. You get into that middle of get into that January to February, and it's just one of those things that you're one of those teams that manages to get up there, playing well throughout the beginning of the year and get up there. You got to manage a way to find and win games in that Big Ten because it's just your doghouse and every night, even at home. You think, you could be the number 2 team at home, but you could be playing a wimpy Rutgers team. You still got to show up and play.
True.
This Big Ten is not some weak. This is the SEC in football. Well, not as of late, but of the last years. This is where it don't matter who you're playing up and down that conference. It's going to be a tough game, home or away.
Yeah, the Big Ten. The thing with the Big Ten is they always get big players.
Mm-hmm.
Like Ohio State, they always have big men.
And that's the key. In the Big Ten, you have to have big forwards. You got to have a big center. You got to have big guys because like everybody says, we all say in the SEC, you win in the trenches.
Yep.
Well, where do you win in basketball in the Big Ten? As you call it, down low in the trenches. You got to win down there. The guards, you can have as many guards as possible, but if you got nobody down low, you're not going to win games.
And that's why most of the ACC and stuff like that struggles against the Big Ten.
The ACC, most of the conference, you got to be like that.
Yeah.
But, you look at it, the SEC. In basketball, it's usually been Florida, Kentucky.
Yep.
Now that's getting a little deeper. Not much. They're moving a little bit. We move a little bit up. Florida's taking a dip down, losing Billy Donovan. Good coach. Actually, not a good coach. Great coach. A Hall of Fame coach. One of the top coaches in college basketball. He leaves. Yeah, you dip down. However, it's getting a little deep. You got some more teams. Pac-12, I don't see much out of them. I don't see much of the Big 12. They're good. Big 12 is usually good. A lot of good teams. Iowa State, Kansas State, Oklahoma State, Texas. Those are usually good. But I still think that, that's why we see a lot of Big Ten teams and even ACC teams in those Final Fours.
Yep.
Is because you look at the Big Ten, as we've been saying, these guys know how to play when you got to battle out games and it's coming down the line, it's late in the year, and you're tired as heck. They know how to do it. And that's why I feel like you see a lot of these teams. And that's why you see a lot of these teams outside of these conferences that get upsetted by these smaller schools that get into the tournament early in the tournament because they think, Cakewalk, we've been doing just fine all year. We're going to be able to come out here and beat them. You got this small school that's been fighting their way, playing hard to get into that tournament, knowing that their only chance into that tournament is winning their conference. So they're battling out, and they got everything to lose. Well, the top teams usually don't, and that's why you tend to see that. They're not scared to take chances.
Yep.
And it's like that's why the Big Ten, you don't see that very often. That's why you don't see these teams go out there and lollygag out of the Big Ten. They know you could play a crappy like Minnesota last year. Wasn't great. But you played Minnesota. You knew you had to bring an A game because you knew they could come out and shoot out and do something someday.
That's true.
That's any team. Minnesota, Northwestern, Nebraska, Penn State, Rutgers, the bottom five. You didn't know. You had to come out or they were going to do something and upset you. We saw that firsthand 2 years ago when Indiana was number 1, number 2 ranked, came into the barn and Minnesota beat them.
Yeah.
Flat out beat them. Mbakwe looked like he was just a king out there. And that's the thing. That's one thing I like about Big Ten basketball is you got to fight every day, and that's why we see a lot of Big Ten, as I've been saying, a lot of Big Ten teams up into that tournament.
Yeah, that's definitely true. You sit there, like you said, Gophers, you got to sit there and you can't just try to get through the game. You have to go over the top to get over the game.
So, moving on now to the Gophers. They were 18-15 last year, didn't make any tournament. Actually, they did make one technically, but they turned it down because it's a tournament you got to pay for. So, they were 6-12 in the Big Ten. Their overall ranks, they averaged 74.2 points a game, which is 33rd ranked. Now, again, Big Ten, you don't score many points. It's not a shootout. It's defense, and that's why you usually see lower, but they still should be scoring more. This is the stat that scares me, and this is what's going to scare me for years until they do this. They averaged 32.9 rebounds per game. That was
How many?
32.9 rebounds per game.
And who's that?
That's Minnesota.
Holy crap.
They were 241st overall in the country in rebounding. You're not winning games if you can't rebound.
No.
And, that's the scariest stat. Now, this is a good stat, 15.7 assists per game. They were 15th there, and then field goal percentage at .463, which was 55th overall. Not bad. That rebounding's got to get better this year. That to me, that's the key this year. They got some big guys coming back. They got some fresh new guys, big guys coming back.
They got a couple big recruits too.
Recruits they didn't get coming in next year. Yes, I believe.
But I think they had a couple this year too, didn't they?
This year, let's see here. I'll go to their roster here quick.
I thought they got a couple big
recruits. I believe they did. They got. Let's see here. Well, they got Didu coming back, 6'9" forward. They got Joey King, which they're moving him to, I believe, a forward, or they're going to move him to a small forward he can shoot more because they want him to shoot. Charles Buggs is back. He's at 6'9". They brought in Reggie Lynch from Edina, Minnesota. Unfortunately, he can't play this year because of the transferring, so he's 6'9". They do have Bakary Konat from Mali. He came in last year, 6'11", center. Going to see a lot of playing time. He needs to get those rebounds. They got Devontae Fitzgerald, 6'8", forward from Atlanta. He's a good guy that they can. Other than that, they did not bring in any freshman big guys. They did bring some guards in. They had Shannon Sharp from Bloomington.
Stefan Sharp,
excuse me. Stefan Sharp. I'm reading it wrong. Jarvis Johnson from Minneapolis from De La Salle, but cannot play because of his heart condition. They did get Kevin Dorsey from Waldorf, Maryland. This is a guy that I like. I like that he's been playing really well. He's a good guy, but if he can just, do the things they asked for. He was suspended from playing against Southwest Minnesota State last week because of academic issues.
What's the score of that game?
I think it was like a 20-point blow or win, not blowout. They struggled, and that's the one thing they've been struggling.
The Gophers?
Yeah, the Gophers beat them. They also brought in 6'6" forward Jordan Murphy from San Antonio, Texas, and 6'4" guard Dupree McBray from Queens, New York. That is who they brought in and that's who was on this year's team. So, young, not overly experienced, and that was one of the main reasons why Patino went over to, where'd they go to, France, Paris, something like that. They went overseas and played for like a week or two. Didn't play particularly well, but I think this is, again, another rebuilding year, trying to get his guys in. He did bring in, he has 3 recruits so far for 2016. You got, of course, small forward Amari Cooper.
Wow.
Amari Coffey. Amari Coffey from, I can't think of his place now.
Minneapolis North?
Hopkins.
Hopkins.
There we go. His dad was a star. They also got Eric Curry from Little Rock, Arkansas. He's a power forward.
Stephon Curry's son.
No, it's not. Yeah, Stephon Curry's son.
might as well start making the name changes because.
And then of course you had Michael Hurt, which I don't know. I question that move from John Marshall High School in Rochester. I still question that because I didn't think he was that good. But I've seen him play, but I hadn't seen him play recently. But I didn't think he was that good.
It'll be interesting to see what he's got.
But those are guys coming in next year, now not this year. Now looking at the schedule. I still don't understand this. Is it every team that does it? The Gophers play 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. The first 10 games are non-conference, but are all at home, which is weird to me. They play, I don't even know who these guys are, UMKC or Roos. They're Kangaroos, I guess.
The first 10 games are at home?
At home, well, except one is, and I'll get to that, but they have UMKC on Friday night. They're the Roos. On Sunday, they play Louisiana Monroe Warhawks. They play Temple on the 19th, Omaha the 27th, Clemson the 30th. Not a bad non-conference. Not great. Not bad. I think this is like South Dakota something. I have no SDAK on the 5th. Then they play South Dakota State University on the 8th. They play Oklahoma State on the 12th. Now, that game is on a neutral court. That one will be played in Sioux Falls at the, Pentagon Center or whatever. That's where they're playing that game. And then they play CHS, which I have no idea who they are, and it looks like Milwaukee on the 23rd. So that ends up non-conference. Conference play. They play at Ohio State to start out conference play. Tough game. Then they have number 13 Michigan State at home.
Tough game.
And then they go on the road to take on Penn State. Then Northwestern at home. At Nebraska on the 12th. And then the stretch, they have a tough stretch after that. They're at home against number 15 Indiana. It could change, but the way it is now, it's a tough stretch. Couple days later, they go to Michigan, which is 25th ranked. Then they come home and play Illinois. And then they're at home again against number 23 Purdue. And then they go on the road to take on number 15 Indiana. That's a tough stretch there of games. If they stay that way, it's a tough stretch of game. Then they'll have at Northwestern on the 4th of February. Then they'll be at home against Michigan again on the 10th. Then they go to Iowa. Then they have Maryland at home. Number 3, Maryland at home. So that's good. At least they get Maryland at home and not on the road. Then they have Rutgers at home on the 23rd. On the 28th, they go to Illinois. And then the 2nd of March, they have Wisconsin at home. And then they go on the road to Rutgers on the 5th of March. And then they'll have, of course, Big Ten tournament. Now, looking at... It's going to be a tough schedule for Minnesota no matter what. Non-conference is pretty easy this year. But looking at points per game and what they got coming back. Well, they lose their top 2 scoring players from last year. You had Andre Hollins, who averaged 13.8, and you had Maurice Walker, Big Mo Walker, as I call him, at 11.8. They do get Carlos Morris back at 11. He had 11.1 points. They got Nate Mason coming back at 9.8. Joey King at 9.7 points per game. Charles Bug at 3.6, and then most of the other guys are pretty, down toward the bottom. Now, looking at that, they got to make up 25 points per game. It's going to be tough. But they do got freshmen coming in that can do it. I just don't know. I'll see if I can count quickly and see how many games. I want to see if we can make a prediction. They have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29. 30 games. What do you think is a projection for a regular season? out of 30. I
20 and 10.
You think 20 and 10? That's pretty dang good. Now you know they're most likely going to go undefeated the first 10 games for their. 20 and 10 isn't bad. That's what 10 and 10 Big Ten play, which is 4 games better. So I don't know. 2010 is not a bad. Just seeing how they've been playing, I'm gonna go 15 and 15. If I counted 30 games right, I don't know. I might have missed it, I think, but 15 and 15, which would give them pretty much 5 and 15 in the Big Ten. And they were 6 and 12 last year. I don't know. I think I might have miscalculated, but let's double check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 1, 2, 3. Oh, 28. So my mistake. I counted over. So I still think 15 wins overall is what they're gonna get. No tournament this year again. I think
They're gonna make the tournament this year.
They're not gonna make either. To me, and even at 20 and 10 would be tough.
They're gonna make the big tournament, March Madness. They're gonna be.
So you say they're gonna make the March Madness?
Yes, they're gonna squeak in.
I say they're not gonna make March Madness. They're not making the NCAA. They're not making the NIT this year.
They're gonna make it.
I'm just not optimistic that they can make it that far. But we never know, and as I said, games start this week, so man, time for a long road to March Madness in March.
Not really long.
Oh yes, it is long, and
it'll be here before you know it.
I know it'll be my birthday before I know it. That's why I always know it's March Madness times when my birthday's here. Because my birthday's technically during March Madness, but. Well, we're going to take a break quick, come back, and it's time for a little bit of NCAA talk. Football this time. We went for basketball, now we go to football. This is Sports Live on Mustang Radio. Welcome back to Sports Live. This is, again, your host, Zach Hutley, and my Snapchat co-host over there. I don't know who he's Snapchatting.
Just a picture.
Just a picture of yourself.
Yeah.
Your ugly self. Well, we're going to turn gears on over to the NCAA as soon as I find... Oh, gosh, he threw a pick six.
Who did?
Well, I didn't even notice that's how we got Cutler threw a pick six, but that's off topic. I just ended up seeing that. But NCAA football time, and last week, what a well-rounded games there were. Early on in the week, really nothing big. Didn't miss any. And besides missing our one game where Toledo or Northern Illinois did upset Toledo, we didn't get that game. Didn't know there was a Tuesday night game.
True.
This week there's a Tuesday night, so thankfully we're doing Monday night picks.
I probably would have picked Toledo.
Yeah, you would have picked Toledo, and I would have took a hunch and picked Northern Illinois. I was hoping you'd take that money. I was actually hoping you would just to see that, and then all of a sudden what I was going to do is, before you said that, I was going to say, okay, check it out. I'll take my cash now. But Notre Dame, they won pretty easy. Northwestern and Penn State, what did I tell you? I said Penn State had a chance. It came down to a field goal.
It did.
Yeah, it was a good game there. Stanford pretty much blew out. Arkansas, as we heard earlier on our sports headlines with Mr. Belima, Arkansas with the upset over Ole Miss. So that officially takes them out of the running of the championship, and it takes them out of the running for the SEC West title. So
that's true.
Clemson, Florida State, pretty good game. It looked like Clemson was going to get.
I almost called it.
Clemson looked like they were going to beat right away when Cook ran that 75-yarder to start the game, but then Florida State just didn't look good.
No.
After that, they stayed with McGee and didn't go back to, or not McGee, McGuire, and didn't go back to Golson. So
yeah, that was kind of interesting.
Yeah. How about this game? And this is where a lot of people say overrated, and I agree with them. Oklahoma State blowing out TCU at home, blowing them out 49-29.
That was an ugly game.
I mean, TCU, we knew they didn't have a defense.
That's true.
They have a decent offense, but they have no defense. And Oklahoma State is a good team. Iowa squeaking by Indiana 35-27, and their quarterback looked like he almost got hurt in one play. Michigan continuing to do what they do, dominating teams, 49-16. Houston squeaking out a win against Cincinnati 33-30. UCLA blowing out Oregon State 41-0. Nebraska with the controversial upset over number 7 Michigan State 39-38. In my words, he was out of bounds, was not pushed out of bounds. That should have been a flag, ineligible touching, and Michigan State should have won the game.
Definitely.
I couldn't believe that. I mean, watching that game, you knew he was out of bounds. Now, the question is, I wanted to go back and see the replays, was he pushed out of bounds or forced out of bounds? He was not forced out of bounds. Watching the man, I saw it, I think they showed it about 7 or 8 times. 7 or 8 times. I didn't see any force. Did you see any force?
I didn't.
I didn't see any force throwing, and that was quite interesting. That's why I think D'Antoni has all the right to be angry. I mean, he was furious.
Yeah, I would be too.
Because pretty much that cost them the Big Ten championship game almost, unless they beat Ohio State and they need help. Then pretty much takes them almost out of the consideration of Final Four. Maybe, don't know that, but it's taken to give them a big knock though.
Yes,
it was a win or a loss that they couldn't handle. Oklahoma dominating Iowa State. Memphis, shocking. Memphis getting their butts kicked by Navy, 45-20. Very shocked.
That was interesting.
And then Texas A&M again. Their woes continue as Auburn beat them 26-10. And then the game where Alabama took control and just ran with the game, 30-16 Alabama beating LSU, and Leonard Fournette looked like a running back from Minnesota. He couldn't run the ball.
No. And actually, a little story on that. Remember him wanting to auction off his...
Yeah, it sold for like $145,000.
Yeah, the highest paid ever in college football.
Well, yeah, behind Reggie Bush and Johnny Football. All their stuff, but they got the money out of that.
Yeah.
No, but, I mean, Fournette looked terrible. Derrick Henry looked like just a beast. And I knew LSU didn't have a great, and I told you this, LSU does not have that great of a defense.
Yeah.
And it just, LSU just looked flustered the whole game, couldn't do anything. So Alabama now they have still one loss in the year. LSU has one loss, so they're going to be battling all the way out to the end. They take on Florida, who uglily won 9-7 against Vanderbilt at home. That was ugly. Very ugly. But a win's a win. Take the win, run. And as if I could find that press conference that Jim McElwain said, these are games that when you're on a championship run like they are right now, these are games that champions find a way to win.
Yep.
And that's a true statement. They find, even as ugly as it is, you got to find your way to win, and they found a way to win. Barely, but they found a way to win. With the win, they clinch the SEC East, and they'll play either LSU or Alabama, depending if Alabama loses a game again. So it'll probably be Bama. That'll be the that'll be the matchup that the last time Florida was in the SEC title game. And it seems like every time they played in the SEC title game is against Alabama. But I think they got a chance if it comes down to it. Alabama.
Not if they play like that.
No, good Lord, if they play. But the defense is so good that it could be a game like that. But if the offense has got to score something. But the defense against that, with Coker not being, Coker's not the greatest of all great quarterbacks, and this Florida defense is, oh my, they're scary. They're scary good. And that's not being no homer. They are scary good.
No homer.
No homer. I'm not homering anything. They're just scary good. Sacks galore, inside, outside. You got Vernon Hargreaves, which is one of the best, if not a top 10 pick in the draft next year. Good secondary. They're just good. But I don't know. We'll see what happens when that comes. And then, of course, you had Ohio State at home taking on Minnesota, 28-14. I don't know. I'm still confused about the whole targeting rule, both Florida game and the Ohio State game. Minnesota, liner gets hit, pick six, and what do? They pick the flag up.
Yep.
I didn't see any conclusive evidence saying that he didn't do it.
Exactly.
I think they said he was lowering down. I didn't see Leitner lowering, or not Leitner, Leitner lowering down. I want to know what these officials determine what targeting is. That's what I want to know. Because what I see is it's targeting. Florida, that's on the other side, is that he hit him in the head, but he wasn't trying to hit him in the head. It was just, ended up, got him more in the shoulder than the head that they call targeting. I just don't understand it. You got anything that you can tell me how you can determine what targeting is anymore?
Nowadays you don't even know. There's so much hits that are what they so-call controversial. There's so hits that are not called. And then you don't know if there's anything behind it either, like the bounty gate.
We're not talking NFL. We're talking NCAA. There is no bounty gate in NCAA that I know of.
I'm just saying in general. You don't know anymore.
Wow. TCU lost a recruit. That doesn't shock me. I'd leave too. I'd run and stay away because they suck. I could say other things, but we're live on the air, so I can't say other things. All right, now I got to find my pen. So, yeah, it's interesting. We'll see tomorrow when the top 25 comes out again, or the playoff rankings again come out, and see how bad people drop. We'll see how much people drop and who stays. You never know. But that takes us to picks. Again, as I told you before, these rankings that I give are rankings from last week's playoffs rankings, so they're not currently because they still have LSU as number 2, and of course they're not number 2 anymore, or won't be number 2 as of tomorrow night. But I looked at out of the top 25 teams, most of them were on a bye that were not in it, so these are the games going on. What are you flicking me off for? Because I'm still on a 2-game winning streak, folks.
Barely. Because
last week was a draw. Well, even with the game that's still going, it's a draw. As I think we end up going very ugly. We both had we were 7-6 in NFL. It was ugly, very ugly. It was an ugly week, anyways. But so we got the split. So that means I am still the champion and still a 2-time champion, and you're still a 2-time loser.
Okay.
I think you still owe about two mini golfs. Yeah, we haven't gone for a while.
0-1.
Okay, you owe 1. But so these, and then also telling you these over-unders are early, so they're probably gonna change. But we're doing this on Monday, so we won't know. First game of the week starts actually tomorrow night. Number 24 Toledo at home or on the road taking on Central Michigan. Toledo 4.5-point favorites. Most likely will not be ranked coming in, but they still are. Who do you got, big guy?
Toledo.
Tapping your hands. I'll go Toledo, too. I don't got no hunch about Northern Illinois because they're not playing Northern Illinois like they were last week. Number 10, Florida on the road taking on South Carolina. Florida 7.5-point favorites. You taking the Steve Spurrier-less South Carolina team?
No, I'm going Florida.
Oh, I was hoping you didn't win against that. Maybe I'd win a game. I'm going Florida, of course, because I'm not a homer, and I am a homer, and I take my team, unlike you over there, that takes the opposite of your team. Oh, this is fun. This is a fun over-under. I don't think we've had this over and under yet this year. Kansas on the road taking on, which won't be number 8, but number 8 TCU. TCU right now, as of Sunday night, are the favorites by 44 points. Who do you got?
TCU.
Well, you even have to think about it. TCU it is for both. Number 3, Ohio State on the road taking on Illinois. Ohio State is 16.5-point favorites. JT Barrett is the starting quarterback.
OH.
IL. Ohio State it is. As I file this stuff in. Maryland on the road taking on number 7 Michigan State. Michigan State 18-point favorites.
Michigan State.
Michigan State it is. Purdue on the road taking on number 21 Northwestern. That line is even right now.
Northwestern.
Still going with Northwestern. I like Northwestern in this game. I've picked Purdue once this year, and it didn't turn out well. Yeah, against Minnesota. It didn't turn out well. It cost me the week. Didn't do well. North Carolina State on the road taking on number 16, Florida State. Florida State, 9.5-point favorites.
Florida State.
FSU, even though I hate you. You know what FSU stands for?
Florida State University.
No, it's the other way around. I just can't say it on the air. FS up. That's
No.
what they like to do. That's just how us Gators do it. We make mean jokes about Florida State. Here's an interesting game. Number 4, Alabama, presumably to go up higher, but taking on number 20, Mississippi State on the road. Alabama, 7-point favorites.
Alabama.
Yeah, unfortunately, I got to go Alabama. I think this is a week we don't go against each other at all. Because there really isn't any good games, but you never know. Number 1, Clemson on the road taking on Syracuse in the Syracuse Dome. Clemson's 26.5-point favorites.
Clemson.
I was wondering why you were thinking.
I thought about it.
Yeah, I could change it.
No.
Sure?
No.
Absolutely positive.
Positive.
100% positive.
Deal.
Okay, take the deal.
No.
Syracuse.
No.
S-Y-R-A.
No. Stop it.
C-U-S-C, Syracuse. All right, so there's our one difference. So far.
No, it's not.
Wake Forest
Quit
on the
doing
road. Wake Forest on the road taking on number 5, Notre Dame. Notre Dame, 27.5-point favorites.
Notre Dame.
Do you have to sing every time you say it?
Yep.
Okay. Who do we got? Number 14, Oklahoma State on the road taking on Iowa State. Oklahoma State, 14-point favorites.
Oklahoma State.
You want to just read my stuff off too? Good Lord, I'm not going to go against you right now. You got Indiana, sounds good. Number 17, Michigan on the road taking on Indiana. Michigan, 12-point favorites.
Michigan.
Michigan. You can't take Michigan, remember?
Yes, I can.
No, you can't. Tina said you cannot take Michigan.
It doesn't matter.
You can't take Michigan. That's the rule.
I'm going with Michigan because it's for money.
Money? When are we playing for money? Where's all this money?
We play for golf.
Oh,
bro.
that's right. I don't have to pay, and I still whoop your butt. Or whoop your beep. I could go that way. West Carolina on the road taking on number 19, or won't be ranked anymore, but Texas A&M.
Aggies.
Even though I hate them, I'm going.
Wait, you think they won't be ranked?
No, they won't because they got beat. Here's a decent game. Number 13, Memphis on the road taking on number 25, Houston. Houston's 6-point favorites.
Who was it?
Number 13, Memphis on the road taking on number 25, Houston. Houston is 6-point favorites.
Memphis.
Gosh, why are you such a dirty man? That's who I was going to go with.
You can change it.
I gotta look it up. I have insider stuff, so that's why I beat you all the time. I got all this insider information.
Okay.
What? It's true. I have all insider stuff. Ask my mom. That's why I beat her so many years in NFL football. Top 25 next week. I don't care about last week's games. Come on. Come on. Doesn't want to move on me. There we go. Let's see here. Why are they the favorites? Oh, that's because Houston's undefeated. That's why. All right. I'll take Texas. No, we're not playing Texas. I'll take Texas. I like Houston. I think Houston's going to beat Memphis. Memphis choked it last week. I think Memphis is going to beat Houston. Or
Okay.
Houston's going to beat Memphis, excuse me. Temple, number 22 Temple on the road taking on USF, Southern Florida. Temple is 4.5-point favorites.
Temple.
Temple. I like Temple. I like a Temple anyways. That's where I live, is in a Temple. Arkansas on the road taking Arkansas on the road taking on number 2, most likely falling to like number 10. LSU's 8.5-point favorites.
LSU.
Yeah, Fournette's gonna have like 180 yards. He's gonna be like peed off and just gonna dominate. Oregon on the road taking on number 11 Stanford. Stanford 9-point favorites. If Stanford wins, they go on to the Pac-12 championship.
Stanford.
Stan it is. Man, that might be our one difference in that one. Number 15 Oklahoma on the road taking on number 6 Baylor. Baylor 3.5-point favorites.
Baylor.
Not even thinking about Oklahoma at all?
No.
Wow. Remember, Baylor doesn't have their quarterback.
Yeah.
Oklahoma does.
Baylor.
Gosh, you're so chicken to go against them, aren't you? You're just chicken, aren't you?
Yep.
Unbelievable. You're a chicken maniac. You're just full of chickenness. You're a chicken to take an upset, aren't you? You took one last time.
I did, and it didn't work.
No, you just took one. You just took an upset.
Barely.
Oh, come on. No, this computer's not going to work. That's not going to work, so I got to restart this whole thing. Unbelievable. Dang computer never wants to work. Can't believe you're not going to go against, but I'm not. I'm going Baylor. Because I'm chicken. I'm always chicken. Minnesota, yes, your Golden Gophers on the road taking on good old Iowa. Iowa's 11.5-point favorite.
University of Iowa. Let's go.
I can't believe this. How can you pick Iowa? How? How can you pick Iowa?
When the Gophers suck.
Yeah, but it's Iowa.
So?
It's Iowa. You don't pick Iowa.
Yeah, you do.
No, you don't. You're
Why?
so stupid.
You picking Minnesota?
Heck yeah.
All right.
I'm
whatever.
not picking Minnesota, you nuts. You're a Minnesota fan. You should be picking Iowa. I'm a Minnesota fan, but I don't know. You're a bigger Minnesota fan than I am. You should be picking Minnesota.
Not when I know we suck and we have money on the line.
You're just chicken.
You're chicken to pick Minnesota. Scaredy cat, pick the upset.
Oh, they did win by 10.
Who did?
The Timberwolves.
They did?
Yes.
Yes.
Don't be too happy. They still won't make the playoffs.
Yes, they will.
That is an absurd statement still. I don't know. Should I take Minnesota or should I take Iowa? Should I take Minnesota or should I take Iowa? 'Cause
You need to take Minnesota.
I hate Iowa to death. but
Take
I can't-
Minnesota.
I can't pick against them. I'm going Iowa.
Oh, you.
You're the Minnesota fan. That's what I keep saying. You're the Minnesota fan, and you go against Minnesota. I picked Florida every week, even before they were ranked. I picked Florida every week. Didn't matter if they were underdogs or not. I picked Florida every week. But here you are. Nope, not going with them.
Because you got this insider information and you know
I don't have
everything.
any insider information. I'm lying to you.
Well, then quit lying.
I'm just saying, you're a Minnesota fan. You don't take a Minnesota team.
Because I'm not dumb.
Yeah, you are. You're not a loyal fan then.
I am too, but I'm not
But you
dumb.
pick the Vikings every game, and don't matter if they suck, you'd still take them.
The Vikings are actually winning, so yeah, I'm gonna take them if it's realistic.
You're ridiculous.
You're ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
You're ridiculous.
You're just ridiculous. Just ridiculous. Ridiculous. Where'd everything go? The computer went bongo. What happened here? Went like wacko. I don't know what happened. My thing went away. Oh, that didn't feel good. Oh, yeah, everything like ran off.
That's good.
That's not good. Oh, there we go. Here we go.
Man, you are one pathetic loser.
That's exactly what you are. One pathetic loser. Because you don't pick your team. Terrible. You're a disgrace to Minnesota. That's all I got. Number 12, Utah on the road taking on Arizona. Utah 5-point favorites.
Utah.
Good Lord. That is going to be our only game we pick is that one. Because you got a chicken guy over there in that box. Yeah, I'm talking to you, fatso. Washington State on the road taking on number 23, UCLA. UCLA 8-point favorites.
UCLA later.
That makes absolutely no sense. Number one, you're not going to LA later.
I might be.
You're going to LA.
Might be.
With no money, you're not going to LA. You can get there because you got all your little miles thing.
Yep.
But other than that, you got nothing to buy.
How do you know?
You have no money. You're broke.
You have no idea.
Yeah, I do. You can barely pay off your car payment. And that was barely $1,000.
That's because I don't have a job right now.
So you have no money to go to L.A. Now, me, on the other hand, I could go to L.A.
I could get money from my grandma.
Oh, so you got to go to someone to get money. I don't. Entirely. Now, if we're just saying metaphorically, we use money that we have right now and go to L.A., I could go to L.A. and live there for about a week and a half.
That's it?
Yeah. By myself, no help from family. Yes. How long could you live in L.A.? In a building, or would it be on the streets?
On the streets.
See, you'd be on the streets. I'd be living in a hotel for a week and a half at least, if not more. You'd be one of those bums I'd see on the side of the road that I'd throw a cigarette at.
Wow.
I'd be driving through. Oh, I know that bum. Throw that cigarette. Could you even manage being a bum on the streets in LA?
I don't think so.
Especially the way you look.
Wow. You don't look much better.
No, I don't, but at least I look prettier not to be on the streets.
I don't know about that.
Oh, my. Well, at least the good thing is you got plenty of food.
I do.
Yeah, you do. I'm looking at it right now. Yeah, I'm looking at that big belly of yours. You got plenty of food.
Oh, yeah, I do.
Now, me, I'll be eating at gourmet restaurants. $30 steaks. Actually, people like $100 steaks. Not Minnesota, it's $30. In L.A., it's $100. Well, we could talk about, I don't know, what do you want to talk about the last 5 minutes before we hit break, NCAA football-wise?
I think music break. We haven't played this music song.
We haven't
in
played a
while.
music song. We're going to hit a music break. That's true. We need to take a music. We haven't taken a music break in a while. We're going to hit a music break. We're going to come out with some, some John Wall. Let's hit some John Wall. Do the John Wall during break. So we're going to take a quick music break, and then another break, and then we'll come back PSAs and whatnot, and then come back with football to end the show. This is Sports Live on Mustang Radio. Do you want to host a radio show? Do you want to be a future TV anchor? Do you want to be a sports broadcaster? If you said yes, then the SMSU Media Club is for you. Possibilities are endless. The SMSU Media Club is involved in the biggest events, not only here at Southwest Minnesota State University, but in the Marshall community as well. The SMSU Media Club covers the homecoming parade, SMSU sporting events, and daily radio shows. The SMSU Media Club meets every other Wednesday in BA 166. For more information, email the SMSU Media staff at smsu.media@gmail.com. Come be part of something special. Trying to balance school, work, and a social life can be stressful for any college student. That is why Southwest Minnesota State University has professionals available to help you cope with any problem life throws your way. It's also never too soon to start thinking about your future. So stop by the counseling services, drop off your resume, and get top-notch career counseling to help propel you forward in today's job market. For more information or to schedule a free confidential appointment, go to the SMSU Counseling Services located across from the computer services on the first floor of BA. Now I send it over to meteorologist Tyler Meyer.
It is 50 degrees right now.
It is not 50, it's 67.
Don't start with me, mister.
Oh, someone in a bad mood?
Yes.
Oh.
But,
Well, quit your whining.
man, 43 degrees for the low tonight. 63 degrees for the high tomorrow, 39 for the low. 44 Wednesday, 32 for the low. 47 Thursday for the high, 29 for the low. And Friday, 48 and 32 for the low. Saturday, once again, 61 for the high, 38 for the low, and 60 for the high and 39 for the low on Sunday. And still next weekend, rain and snow showers.
Shh. I don't want to hear the S word.
Ooh, they're saying.
Don't say no. Don't say it. No. Do not dare say it.
Saturday, snow accumulations.
No accumulating of anything. It's gonna be beautiful and sunshine.
Inch Saturday and inch Sunday.
Boo, meteorologist Tyler Meyer, boo him down. Thank you. Keep booing him.
Get over yourself.
I hate snow. I hate winter.
You need a life.
Yeah, I do have a life when it's not winter out. I have plenty of a life. Unlike you.
Hey, I have more of a life in the winter than I do now.
Oh, I know, because all you do is hibernate. Ha 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 ha.
Real funny.
It is
Oh,
funny.
yeah.
It is funny. But, all right, we're going to look at the football from last week, or this last, oh, gosh.
Ouch, that hurt.
Are you okay?
I just hit my funny bone.
Well, not only did you do that, but it looks like you did other stuff, too.
Ouch.
But, I'm not the one that's sitting in a room by myself, so enjoy it. Inhale it. Don't shake me. Don't shake me. All right. Looking back at football this last weekend, some good games. Well, of course, we'll start with the good old Vikings at home taking on St. Louis and winning 21-18 in overtime with Blair Walsh. Yes, the Blair Walsh that sucked galore, hitting his second straight
Game winner.
And I think he's like 16-16 now.
Minnesota Vikings quietly are putting together a
Yeah.
good squad.
They are. Offense still needs to produce, but
It
you know.
does. But good teams find ways to win.
Yep.
Defense is what's wins championships, so
Yep.
that's all that matters.
Yes, sir. And then the good thing for Vikings fans is Carolina beat up on Green Bay 37-29.
I wouldn't
Which-
say really beat up
Well,
on
it
them,
was
but
it was a beat up until, Green Bay decided to play the game.
that's true.
But you had New England shockingly not killing Washington.
Yeah, that was.
Maybe they just figured out we put up 21, we're good.
They did lose.
They did. Deion Lewis is out for the year, so that'll hurt them a little bit. The Titans upsetting New Orleans on the road. 34-28 in overtime. Another overtime game.
Mariota.
There was 3 overtime games last night.
Yeah, they said
yesterday.
they've had 15 this year, and that's well on pace to break.
How about this game? The 49ers upsetting Atlanta. What are you shaking your head for?
You don't even let me finish.
What do you want to say? Breaking the pace of what? It's
Of the
overtime.
most overtime games in a season.
Oh, I didn't
With
see that.
26.
26 was the most?
Yep.
That's it? Jeez. I hope they break it.
They said they're well on pace.
Good. I hope they do. But the 49ers defeated Atlanta at home 17-16.
Yeah,
Very shockingly.
that was interesting.
But are you okay over there?
No, I'm getting like massive static. You are doing it.
You look like a fool over there. What'd you just do?
Nothing.
Oh. And then another upset. It was like back-to-back upsets. Indianapolis at home beating those fesky little Broncos 27-24.
Yeah, that was interesting.
Very interesting. And then, of course, you had last night's thank you, Philadelphia, to give us the tie, 33-27 in overtime as Jordan Matthews scored a touchdown without being touched. And I mean, without being touched is an understatement.
That's true.
Holy moly, the guy slipped a little cut route, and bam, he was gone.
He was. Bye-bye.
And what did that do? That gave us a tie.
He gone.
He gone. All right, so that was last week, and then, of course, he had the whole Teddy Bridgewater incident. We're not going to get too much into that. because otherwise I'm gonna have to kick you off the show because I know you'll throw a couple cuss words in
No,
it.
I wouldn't.
Yes, you will. It's tough to do, but you would. But we're gonna start doing picks since we don't have much time. We got about 10 minutes or so. So
That's it already?
yeah,
Holy
we're
cow.
about 10 minutes. Yeah, it's 9:40 already.
Hey,
You know,
Rick.
time flies by when we're talking.
I didn't realize it was that late already.
First game Thursday night. It's just another boring, but I don't know. Buffalo on the road taking on the New York Jets. Remember, I don't have any lines, so it's tough. I don't think there is. I could check for it quick, but I don't think there's any lines. I didn't look today, so there is lines out now, or for a
Okay.
few of them. The Jets are 2.5-point favorites.
I'm going to go Jets.
They're going the Jets. I just don't know who to go with. Because the Jets played okay this last week. Buffalo played pretty dang well. And it just depends if McCoy is good to go.
You got to go Jets.
Yeah, I guess I got to go to the Jets. I don't know. It's a toss-up. What's our next game? Detroit on the road taking on Green Bay. Green Bay is 11.5-point favorites.
Definitely not going Detroit. You got to go Green
I'm
Bay.
going Green Bay this time. You haven't taken Green Bay at all for the last, 2 weeks, 3 weeks. Something like that. Dallas on the road taking on those Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Tampa Bay 2-point favorites.
Who are they playing?
Dallas.
Oh, Tampa Bay.
Now you're not picking Dallas this time.
Nope.
I got to go against you. I got Dallas. I think they're frustrated after this win. I think they're going to win it because it's the last week they have without Romo.
Okay.
And Des Bryant played well.
Okay.
Okay. Just letting you know. Carolina, undefeated Carolina on the road taking on Marcus Mariota and the Tennessee Titans. Carolina 4-point favorites. Going Marcus?
Nope. I've been Panthers supporter all year.
Oh, you. All right, folks. That is definition of bandwagon.
No.
Thank you.
Everybody sits there and says that the Carolina Panthers are not that good.
I am going to say it, and I'm
They're-
going to continue to say it. They're not.
They're finding ways to win again.
That's the thing. That's all they're
without wide
doing. They don't
receivers.
have wide receivers.
They're good enough to do that.
That's it.
So and everybody keeps saying they're not.
You okay, puppy Tyler?
Yeah.
Jesus. It's like you're like you got ticks up there, fleas, ticks.
But I'm gonna go Carolina.
I'm going Carolina because I know they're the better team. Not saying I like them because I don't. Chicago on the road taking on Wes Welker and the St. Louis Rams. St. Louis 7.5-point favorites.
St. Louis.
Oh, you want to go against St. Louis? You went against them last week.
That's because they played the Vikes and it was a good
I know.
choice.
New Orleans. This is
Who are you
interesting.
picking?
Oh, I'm taking St. Louis.
Okay.
This is an interesting game. New Orleans on the road taking on Washington. New Orleans is 1-point favorites. That's a very weird game.
When the Saints go marching in, or when the Saints go.
Okay, so he's going Washington. And I'm going New Orleans. I can't hear you, so. Nope. All right, next game. We got Miami and Philadelphia. Philadelphia 6-point favorites.
Philly cheesesteak.
Hey, have you ever had a Philly cheesesteak?
Yep.
I have too. They're delicious. Cleveland on the road taking on Landry Jones and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Pittsburgh's 4.5-point favorites.
Steelers.
Yeah, it's because you're watching me write down, aren't you?
No, I can't even see you.
This is a cool game.
I was head banging my head into my own
Oh,
hands.
yeah, I
How's
know.
that?
So you got Jacksonville versus Baltimore. Baltimore is 5.5-point favorites. Baltimore doesn't have Steve Smith. Jacksonville's been good.
Jacksonville.
Ooh, I like Jacksonville though.
You got to go
I
Jacksonville.
like Jacksonville because I know they can do stuff, but I still know Baltimore will find a way to win. Because guess what? Ray Lewis is there, and he pumps them up. Baltimore. Next game, of course, we got the Vikings on the road taking on Oakland. There is no line. You got to take those Raiders, Mr. Super Bowl team.
No, you don't. Minnesota Vikings.
You just said this team's going to win the Super Bowl, and now you don't pick them.
Not against the Vikings.
Yeah, whatever. You're just a pansy. I'm giving you Oakland.
No, you're not.
Okay, I won't give you Oakland.
You give me
Minnesota.
crap because I'm not being faithful, and I'm being faithful.
Now you're,
right now,
yeah,
Minnesota.
that's only. You don't be faithful to the Gophers. What's the difference? Gophers and the Vikings are still
There's
Minnesota.
a big difference.
No, there isn't.
The Vikings are
There's absolutely no difference. No difference.
Vikings are playing better. You're
You're just homering that thing.
No.
That's just ridiculous.
no.
No,
I bet you if you got Matt to call in, he'd say the same thing.
What? You got to be faithful, and you're not. You're faithful.
No.
You're halfway faithful.
Not when we have money on the
There
line.
is no money on the line.
There is too. There's $5 a week on this for golf.
If I had money, I'd be having money in my pocket, and I don't.
Well, it's because we chose to do golf instead of $5.
You pay for me anyway, so it don't matter. New England on the road taking on the Giants.
New England.
Yeah, I was gonna say I could just pound that in there. Kansas City on the road taking on those pesky Denver Broncos.
Denver.
Denver it is. Arizona on the road heading up to the 12-man, or 12 people, whatever you want to call them. Seattle. Seattle 3-point favorites.
Arizona.
Beast mode!
Who did you? Oh,
Seattle.
you're going Seattle?
Yeah, beast mode. Heck yeah, beast mode. 152 TDs next week. And then the boring Monday night game. Houston on the road taking on Cincinnati.
Oh, that's gross. Cincy.
You tell me. It's gross. There it is. Picks have been official. We'll go see how many differences we got this week. Let's see here.
4 just in the NFL, I think. 4 or 5.
We have one in college. I believe so. Just one in college.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think so. I lost it. I thought we had one in college. Yep, we have one in college. We have 1, 2, 3, 4.
So no chance at a tie this week.
Because we have, let's see here. Houston and Memphis. Dallas and Tampa. New Orleans, Washington. Baltimore, Jacksonville.
Wait, New Orleans,
And
Washington.
Seattle, Arizona. That's all the
Who-
differences we got.
Who did you take?
You took Washington. I took
No,
New
I
Orleans.
didn't.
Yes, you did.
I took New Orleans.
No, because every time you do that song, you switch the other team. So
No, I don't.
I wrote in paper
No.
Washington. So
That's bull. No, you
it's
can't.
on ink.
That's bull. You can't do that.
It's
That's cheating the system. No wonder why you never lose. That's bogus.
I wonder why I never lose. I've only won 2 straight.
I'm gonna go back and look at the picks and listen to the shows and make sure because I think you screwed me.
I haven't screwed you once.
You're screwing me right
I
now.
was joking with that. I haven't screwed you once. They're the same picks every week. There you go. They have not been changed. They have not been done with at all. Every one of them has not been touched.
Okay.
I have won every one of them.
Besides,
Not
like, 3.
cheating. I still think you want Washington, but you're.
I
sitting there
don't
saying,
want Washington.
Yeah, whatever.
Washington's not even. Don't even stand a chance.
They don't.
They
Not when
don't.
Jordan Reed has 3 touchdowns.
Jordan Reed, he can't carry the team.
They are saying he's the number 2 or tight end behind Rob Gronkowski.
Have you not seen Drew Brees the last 2 weeks? He's thrown for like
And he also has
scored,
thrown 2
10
picks.
touchdown passes.
And 2 picks.
Ooh, I'd rather take 10 touchdown passes than 2 picks any
And
day.
the defense was garbage for New Orleans.
It doesn't matter.
And Washington did a decent job. And Washington picked off Brady.
It doesn't. Oh, everybody can pick off Brady. Everybody's got.
This is like 2nd pick of the year.
Yeah, but everybody's got that one-trick basket, and Washington was just lucky to be in
Washington
the
did
right
beat
place at the right
Tampa, and
time.
you're taking Tampa this week.
Yeah, so who cares? It's different week,
I'm just
different day.
saying. I'm just saying.
Any given Sunday, boy.
Just saying.
Any given Sunday.
Any given Sunday, especially when Minnesota loses this
They're
week.
not going to lose this week.
But you can pick Minnesota. You can pick the Vikings. You can't pick the Gophers.
Yes, because Minnesota's playing well enough to win.
But it don't
Gopher-
matter.
It does too
No,
matter.
because if you're
The
a
Gophers-
hometown guy and you like the
No,
team, you pick them.
No, not when we have money
I
on the
do it.
table.
I've
No.
done it multiple times.
You might.
I've picked the
might.
Vikings. I've picked the Vikings in years where
Yep.
I knew they weren't going to win, but I took
might.
it.
You might, but you probably
And that's money. There's a lot more money than what we're putting on.
So
Yeah,
I'm not dumb.
you're just chicken.
No,
Yes, you
no.
are. You're chicken.
No,
You're
you
chicken.
can't be one-sided being a broadcaster. You can't.
No, you can't. But we're not being a broadcasters right now.
This is what we're doing.
Yeah,
we're
there's the-
doing it right. You do not be one-sided. You got to look at it from both sides, and that's what you got to do. You ain't gonna sit there and pick Minnesota when they have no chance.
Hey, they didn't have no chance against Ohio State, but they almost pulled it off.
Oh, almost. It's still smart pick saying that they were gonna lose.
Gosh, you sound like Kirk Herbstreit. Yuck.
I love it because you get so worked up
But
over it.
you sound like Kirk Herbstreit,
I
an
don't-
idiot. An idiot, like
Kirk-
he is.
You know how much money he's making? A lot more than we are sitting right here. So I'd rather sound
I'm a
just
college
like him.
kid, of course.
I'd
he makes-
rather sound like Kurt
I would
Herbstreit.
never want to hear about Kirk Herbstreit. Ugh,
Why?
He's stupid. He's an Ohio State guy.
So?
Even even my guy I know that's in this industry
Who cares who he
that
is?
is a big from Ohio and a big Ohio State guy hates him
So?
because he's an idiot. He's dumb.
People can hate people.
I'd rather listen to what's his name, Lee Corso, and
Would
his
you rather listen to
grave.
me sing?
Oh my God! I'm turning your mic off. You
No.
sing. I'm
Would you
turning-
rather hear me sing compared to listening to
I
Kurt
know.
Herbstreit?
I know. Muna wouldn't want to hear you sing.
Muda would probably love to hear me sing.
Would you like to hear Tyler sing? I did. Would you like to listen to Kirk Herbstreit talk about football? He's from Ohio State. He kind of just rambles his mouth all the time.
Oh, Jesus, take.
See, she said no too. You were just gonna sing, weren't you?
I'm gonna let it go. So give me one more chance. Save me from this road I'm on.
I'll give you the final couple minutes to sing, I guess.
Jesus, take the wheel. Oh, take it from me. As a Minnesota Vikings going to the Super Bowl. Minnesota Vikings. Oh, yeah. When you came to Minnesota, our hopes were high, or wasn't long before you stole that show. And what you did surpassed our wildest dreams, and now we hope you give it one more go. We want you back. Oh, and Minnesota wants you back, and the Vikings want you back. Come back, number 4. You still got it, and we want it. So please take us back. We want you back, back, back. And the Vikings want you back, back, back. And Minnesota wants you back, back, back. Come back, number 4.
Well done, well done, well done. See you, Teddy Bridgewater. Sit your butt on the bench. Unbelievable. You just sang one of the worst songs I've ever heard.
That was created by me when Favre retired the first time.
That was-
I have it on YouTube.
You have that on YouTube?
I do have it on YouTube.
I gotta check that out.
I will show you.
Unbelievable. You made that and you sing like that. Ugh. It's like putting Adele with Will Ferrell.
No, it's like putting Adele with Backstreet Boys.
No, Backstreet Boy's good. Will Ferrell can't sing, but he's funny.
Okay.
You're just a bold man that sings. Okay, that's enough. We're going to end it there. I don't think we can go any farther there. That's going to do it for tonight. We'll see you again next week. Remember, we don't have our show on Wednesday, so we'll see you next week.
This has been Sports Live on
Mustang Radio.